right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Call presented by Ireland Contracting right here on the Bordas & Bordas hotline. Bob Pompiani, Paul Zeiss with you at 412-575-2600. Call us and air your opinions about the events of the day, the week, whatever you want to talk about is fair by us. And we'll begin with the news of the day concerning Le'Veon Bell. Ed Bouchette of the Post-Gazette broke the news this morning in his article in the Post-Gazette that Le'Veon Bell actually almost missed completely the walkthrough the day before the most important game of the year. He showed up with 5 minutes left. He also, the very next day, game day, when Mike Tomlin has a rule, reportedly, being at the place before 2 hours before kickoff, and he was late for that, but he wasn't the only one. Apparently an assistant coach was late for that. So Paul Zeiss of the Post-Gazette is here. You can let us know what you think. And Paul, your take on this, because it's been a season worth of drama and off-the-field stuff, and this just added to it. Even when the season's over, it keeps coming.
You know, you can't tell me that this is a team that was focused on the right things. You can't. You'll never convince me that this was a team that was focused on the right things all season long. You know, they've won a lot of games because they had better players than a lot of the teams they played.
Plus, they didn't have the elite quarterbacks who were out of many of the games. They didn't see Luck, Deshaun Watson.
But you get into the playoffs, you're playing good teams now.
Right.
You're playing teams where they all know it backs are against the wall, so they're all playing to win, you know, and this and that and everything. You know, the bottom line is, this is a team that was never focused on the right things. And you know what? The attention to detail, those little things that finally came back to bite them. And you know, they didn't lose because Le'Veon Bell missed a walkthrough. It was a symptom of a bigger problem. And, you know, I keep hearing, oh, well, all these players respect Mike Tomlin. If they really respected Mike Tomlin, would they act the way that they act? Would they do the things they do? Would they go through the things they do? Or would they do the things he asked them to do?
No, I think they definitely respect him. I think the case is, you know, he's trying to treat them like men, but in many cases, some of the men are not yet men. Apparently, they're acting like, you know, children in that they're taking what should be hard and fast rules and they're, you know, not abiding by them. Or you do have to discipline at some point, and I think, you know, Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere, nor should he. He's the head coach. He'll be the head coach. I was a little surprised there wasn't a change on defense and the coaching. Because I thought that was the number one culprit. But, hey, you know, they're going to – I trust that they will fix the problem. They now see the problem if they haven't seen it already, and they should know how
Will they?
Well, do you think
they just basically said they're bringing their whole staff back.
I understand that. But
to me –
I think that's a different question as opposed to do you?
Yeah, but to me, you know, you look at teams that win championships, right? You look at teams that really – they win championships and they're at the top. They don't put up with a lot of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And I think the best example of that, a couple of years ago, Denver beat the daylights out of Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game. That plane didn't even land in New England, and the offensive line coach was fired. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree. I think there should have been changes.
The linebacker that the Patriots got rid of, what was it, last year?
Collins.
Their best player, basically, their best defensive player, wasn't fitting in, wasn't doing the things they asked. Wasn't being, you know, on the same page as everybody else. Bye. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the way. You don't want to get to a point where you're running everybody out, but every so often you need to.
Right. I thought this was the time.
You need to make people feel uncomfortable.
I thought this was time, especially when you look at the last two playoff games we've seen from them. They got absolutely shredded in New England, and they come back, and then this game against Jacksonville, they got more shredded. I mean, they gave up
by Blake Bortles.
By Blake Bortles. So I think that was reason to expect change on the defensive side of the ball in terms of coaching. It did not happen, so we'll see. Another question.
Well, I was going to say, think about it this way. Okay, they gave up 81 points in their last two playoff games. All right, 7 of it was a pick six, or actually it was a fumble recovery. They gave up 74 points in their last two playoff games, and I think I added it up the other day that between the two games it was like 815 yards. Between the two games.
Yeah, it's way up
That's
there.
absurd.
And it's the same problems that have been killing him. No pressure on the quarterback and getting, you know, sized up in the secondary. So that's got to change. I got to ask you this, Paul, moving forward now. We're talking about what happens next for the Steelers in terms of Le'Veon Bell, because he is in the same boat. He has gone on record as saying he may hold out, he may just retire, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. It's going to come down to a fast decision, I would think. Whether or not you're going to keep him as a franchise player, knowing that that's going to cost you $14.5 million. You may try to sign him long term. I have a feeling that ship has sailed. So it comes down to, do you want to franchise him one more year or just move on without him? So that's going to be the choice. It's a big choice because they have other issues that will need money, and this would save $14.5 million.
Well, just one thing: if they let him go, did they get any compensation at all?
There is a compensation, and I'm not sure what exactly.
See, to me, honestly, if they have, I said this earlier, if you give them Dion Lewis, they're still 13-3 instead of Le'Veon. They're still 13-3. So to me, I think you go get a good running back who's somebody that's got, that can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield and whatever. If you have to do running back by committee like the Patriots do, where one is a better blocker and the other is you do that. Because to me, this is not a guy that you want to be disgruntled. It's just like Garrett Cole. You do not want that guy disgruntled in your clubhouse. And this guy, I don't think you want him disgruntled in your locker room.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll also get in, since you mentioned Garrett Cole, we'll talk about that. We have still lingering Pirate stuff as well. The Penguins, I thought there was a terrible call by the Department of Player Safety or lack thereof. Coming up, we'll talk about it all. Get on the phone. Air your opinion right here now on Pittsburgh's CW.